And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should any emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 3,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR, specially oriented, resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami, with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let's pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if our Elmer's up. Elmer, are you out there? And not hearing our Elmer, we say this is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Echo Whiskey, Greg in Ohio.
Roger, Ohio, and what's the name there?
Greg, Golf Romeo Echo Golf Golf.
Roger, Greg, and what radio are you running today, sir?
I got a 7610 Icon. 100 watts on 133 foot end-fed wire.
All right, sir. If you would be interested in our setup procedure, the first thing to do would be to check your TBW, your transmit bandwidth. You have 3 selections on that 7610, and we want to be in that wide mode, 100 to 2900 on your 7610. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Might take me a minute here. We'll do a little looking around.
Okay, on the, on the 7300, there's a round button at the upper right side of the display window. It takes you to RF power output, set mic gain, compression, set monitor off. For the 7300, the menu button, the rectangular button at the lower left side of the display, takes you to set, which takes you to tone control, which takes you to transmit, which takes you to a single sideband, and transmit EQ. And along in that area is the set TBW, and we want that set to wide, 100 to 2900.
Yeah, Roger, that's where we're at. Yeah, I had to remember how to get into that menu. I've only had this radio for about 2 months here, so still getting used to it. It's pretty much, I have a 7300 as well, so it's very similar to it. But yeah, we're in there, we're in wide mode, over.
Roger, because you know, you need to be in that mode to be able to recognize all of the capabilities of that transmitter. So past that, we move now to your compressor processor, and we want that on, and just add a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 on the compressor processor, right?
All right, stand by. Roger that. Compressor's at 3, over.
Roger. And gosh, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Roger that.
Go ahead and tell me about your antenna system for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, Roger that. It's the 100...
3 seconds.
Yeah, Roger that. It's the 133 foot end fed. It is 25 feet in the air, runs north to south, and it's pretty much flat. I don't have a slope in it or anything. It's pretty much flat. Maybe a slight slope to the north, over.
Roger that. Okay, so let's go to, I'm on my local antenna now, so let's go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, just say it, don't really stress it, but just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3, Roger?
All right, stand by. Yeah, that's about it right there. I'm at about 11%, over.
Roger. And gosh, sounds pretty good. Now, tell me the best thing you like. Let's go to your EQ. I want to set a little more top end there to your tone control, Roger.
All right, stand by. All right, go ahead. We currently have the bass set at 4 and the treble at 3, over, the positive.
Roger, take your treble on up to 5. Treble on up to 5, Roger.
Roger that, treble to 5.
Okay, and then back to maybe a -2 on your bass EQ, Roger.
Roger that, we're back down to -2 on the bass EQ, over.
Alrighty, and tell me the best thing you like about that 7610.
Well, I would say I gotta love the dual receivers on it. Makes it real nice for running split, and I enjoy POTA and do a lot of POTA hunting, do POTA activating as well, and it's nice to be able to bring up 2 different stations at the same time, and when you're hunting, over.
Roger. Okay, let's go back to our ALC. And now that we've messed with the EQ, so anytime you do anything with your EQ, you need to go back to your ALC and double check your level. So again, the word audio, and with mic gain, adjust your ALC meter for 2/3, Roger.
Roger that. Audio. Yeah, there you go. About 14%, over.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Okay, sounded pretty good. Tell me the best thing you like about your radio there.
I'd have to admit I think the receive's a little bit better on the 7610 than the 73. Enjoy both the radios. Got the 7300 in a small go box for going out in the park and activating POTA. And all my other radios are in a large go box here at my main station. Over.
Roger, that sounds mighty good. Gosh, we again, you're in Ohio. What part of Ohio are you in?
I'm in Northwest Ohio. I'm right on the south shore of Lake Erie. I don't know if you're familiar with the DISCREPANCY nuclear power station. I'm about 2 miles away from there. I'm about 2 miles from there. I'm about 17 miles south of east of Toledo, Ohio. Over.
Roger, I just was looking around again for my SDRs. I'm still best on my 7300. Well, gosh, it's sounding mighty good there, Greg. But you be the judge if you want to hear your audio. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3300. And I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, James. I appreciate that. I've only been in the hobby, well, it'll be 1 year next month. I've had my ticket, so kind of jumped in with both feet. I was kind of had an interest in radio and decided to jump right in. So, last March I got my general ticket and been one rabbit hole after the other. Over, really enjoying the hobby.
Roger there. Greg, what you might want to do, though, is crank one more up on your base. Let's see. I think whatever you were, +1 from where you are now. +1 click bass increase from where you are.
Roger that. How's that sound there? We're at -1 now. -1. Over.
Yes, sir. Trying to listen to you. I don't have the best signal in the world, and the best signal I do have is on my 7300, which is, they're good for down to 100 cycles, and then my monitor system is good down to 40 cycles. I'm listening to a monitor system with a subwoofer, so I can hear the whole, what's really happening there. And gosh, we do encourage other folks to get external monitors to their radios. Here they spend, thousands of bucks for their transceiver, and the number one filter is the box that the speaker's in, the radio. It just doesn't have enough cubes to really do it justice, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. And actually, I'm running a set of Ohio Pro Set Elite headsets, and unbelievable what a difference those made. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, in an ideal world, I think probably earphones are the most correct over speakers and all that stuff. But ideally, if the speaker's halfway cool, you should be able to put your earphones on and off, and your house system's there, and you shouldn't really be able to tell the difference between them. An ideal world.
Yeah, Roger that. I found the headsets particularly valuable when I was doing the POTA activations, and really enjoy the box feature on both radios. Over.
Roger. Now, I'm not sure how you're running that mic boom, but it's perfect. I haven't heard any kind of mouth noises from that mic at all. Usually, we suggest putting it out as far in front of you as you can, and then at the last minute, make a 90. But I wouldn't want to interrupt anything you're doing now, because it's just perfect.
Roger that, James. I appreciate all the help, and like I said, this whole entire hobby is nothing but a learning experience, and really enjoy it, and enjoy speaking to a lot of people like yourself that have the knowledge and are willing to share it, and anything to help my radio transmission sound better and get that quality. Over.
Roger. Now, do you do a lot of contesting, or just mainly QSOing?
Mainly just QSOing in the Parks on the Air. Like I said, I'll participate in some of the contests. You know, I hear the guys on there, and I'll get on there and make the contact, but I typically don't turn in a score sheet. Haven't got to that point yet.
Roger. Now, are you taking the 7610 out portable?
Negative. I take the 7300 out portable. If you look on my QRZ page, I got some pictures there of my setup. The reason I have my main station in a go box is living in such proximity to the nuclear power station. In the event that something would happen that I had to evacuate, I wanted to be able to take my entire station with me and make it a fairly quick process. Over.
Roger. Now, how close are you to the power station?
About 2 miles.
Roger, roger. Well, keep a full tank of gas.
Yeah, roger that. Well, that turns into one of them deals where you're either going to have plenty of time or you're too late.
Oh boy. Roger there, Greg. So let me say 73 to you, sir. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, roger that, James. I appreciate you taking the time with me and explaining those things. Like I said, I enjoy nothing more than a good learning experience from somebody like yourself. And yeah, we'll get you in the log, and it's been a real pleasure. So this is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Echo Whiskey 73, sir.
Roger, Greg, 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 3, Delta, Alpha, Victor. This is Dave, and I'm in East Tennessee, over.
Roger, Dave, and you're in Tennessee, and what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running 7300, sir.
Alrighty, so if you'd like a setup there, if you were, running that radio on the wide transmit bandwidth, that's what we're looking for, the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth called wide. You have 3 selections there, and we want you to be in that wide one, Roger.
Roger that. That's where I'm at. I'm in the wide right now. I'm in TBW.
Yes, sir. Now move to your compressor. And let's see here. And we want that on 3. We want that compressor on a 3, Roger?
Okay, I have the compressor on 3 now.
All right, so then into your ALC meter, as you say the word audio, I want you to adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio. Just stretch that word out.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay, now your ALC meter is about half the longitudinal size of your power output meter. So, and then we just want a half of that. So, that's what we're looking for. 2/3 on your ALC meter, just to the right of half.
Okay, Roger, I see what you're saying.
That look pretty good?
It's a brand new antenna. I just put it up about 20 minutes ago and haven't had any no QSOs on it yet. And I just thought I'd get in here and try to see if you guys could help me out and see if my signal was any good. Over.
Roger. Now, what kind of mic is that you're running now?
I'm sorry, say again. The mic?
Yes, sir. What mic are you running now?
I'm running the Hale. It's with the ICOM, for the ICOM.
Okay, is that a hand mic or desk mic?
Actually, it's a hand mic. It's a hand mic that I'm running right now. I did have it on my original microphone, and I don't know, something went wrong, and I went back to the help.
Roger, Roger. Gosh, I'd love to hear you on the desk mic. If you got it around, maybe we could figure out what the problem is.
Well, I can switch it here pretty quick. Let me see if I can get that. Hang on a second. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Roger, Roger.
What's your name again?
This is Jim, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net.
Okay, this is Whiskey 3 Delta Alpha Victor, over.
Oh boy, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, Dave, you copy me?
Sorry, yeah, you kind of dropped out there for a second. I thought you said it sounded pretty good, over.
Yeah, sir, it does sound pretty good. Now, there's a little distortion, and I'm not sure what that's all about. But you had that with your hand mic also.
Let me turn the power down on my amp here real quick. Hang on. All right. Okay, is that a little bit better now?
I'll tell you what, why don't you dump the amp, and just come to me with the radio, Roger?
Okay, just a second. Whiskey 3 Delta Alpha Victor.
Okay, come back one more time. Pretty low.
Whiskey 3.
One more time. Pretty low.
Delta Alpha Victor.
Okay, you know, there's when you're tuning your amp, if you pull back and not load it out quite so far, then you might have better results. So go back to your power amp on. I think that's the problem there. Power amp on, and then find your max. Do you tune for max out normally?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, so try tuning it just a little bit less than max out on the one way of the load, and then adjust the load the other way, where it's a little less than max out the other way. And there will be one that will be closer or cleaner than the other.
Okay, that's where I'm at right now.
That sounded pretty good. I want you a little bit closer to that mic, Roger.
Does that sound a little bit better? Over.
I want you closer even.
Sorry, say again?
I want you closer to that mic. Yeah, you have what's called a peaky voice. Peaky? And so it means that every once in a while you hit a hard word that goes up to 0, but normally you're don't have a very full voice. So I suggest that maybe you look at that that meter. The ALC meter, that's a guide to your radio and the Bible to it, and you want to try to stay in that sweet spot of 2/3 as much as you can. So come back and talk to me for a minute and be looking at your ALC meter and try to keep that meter in the sweet spot of 2/3, Roger?
Okay, let me see what I can do here. Hang on just a moment, please, sir.
And what that will probably mean will be your cadence, your rate will be slightly increased to try to keep that meter up. I mean, in other words, if you spoke like that, you never could keep that meter up. But if you have a increased cadence speech, then the meter will probably reflect that by being able to stay in the sweet spot of 2/3 on your ALC meter.
KM, what you say? W3CAV.
Okay, tell me about the thing you like best about your radio.
I like everything about it. I have an LDC AFS system and analog filter filters out the signal gets quiet. I really like that. There's nothing really I don't like about it. It's an awesome radio. I've been a ham since 2011, but I ran a 718 for years and got them spoiled. Little too easy to run, so kind of trying to find my way on the 2300, Roger.
Roger. Now, it seems like that it's cutting off at about, well, let's see. If I have you set for 0 level on a VU meter that I've got tied to my 7300 output. And it looks like from -3, it turns on up to 0. But if you're below -3, it seems like it's shutting down. So I'm not really sure. Could that be a product of your power amplifier?
You know what? It probably is. This is an older amp, and I'm looking at buying a new one. So I want to get a Mercury 3S. But I think you're right. I think that might be my problem.
Roger. Cause it's hard to mess up a 7300. You know, I mean, it's just real hard to do that. I was trying to think of a way you might be able to see that. If you're also looking at your power output meter, you should be able to see, if you, well, gosh, you'd have to do a graduated level thing, which is hard to do. I would say in between now and then, just keep track of your ALC meter and try to keep it in that sweet spot position. Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I really appreciate what you're doing right now here. That makes me feel good. It's like it drops, my ALC drops almost to the bottom, and then when I peak up, it gets back up to about 2/3, but it goes back and down really fast.
Yes, sir. That's the thing about that meter. So, and that's why you probably, to really see it, if you use the word that would be the closest thing to a steady state tone to be able to adjust your mic level for 100%. You know, if you adjust your mic level, as you say the word into 2/3 on your ALC meter, that would be the normal place to, normal setup. But like I say, you are, sounds like you're cutting in and out on the lower parts of your speech, and whether it's the power amp or what, I'm not real sure. I would suggest probably more the power amp for whatever reason than the radio, because that 7300 is a pretty nice radio, and it's hard to sound bad on the 7300. Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I understand. That makes sense. I just got it right now. I just put in an embed, and it's awesome. And they said you're going to have a real good tuner, full spectrum tuner to get down to the SWRs. And this tuner that I have on this is a really good one, but I got it down to about, no, that's what's wrong. I've got an SWR running anywhere from 3 to 5%. That's too much.
Well, if it's 3%, your radio should be able to auto-tune 3% SWR, right? It gets past 3%, and it becomes, maybe.
Roger that. That's exactly. I was going about 6 to 1, and that's the best I could get it tuned, and I couldn't even be talking on it at 6 to 1. Over.
Yeah, roger that, roger that. Well, I guess between your internal antenna tuner and your external antenna tuner, you might be able to work it out, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. I can always go to the emergency mode on the tuner, I guess. I know it has one, but I don't like to do that because I think that's why it's called an emergency.
Yeah, roger, roger. Well, gosh, if you want to hear your audio there, Dave, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog recording right now, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So it's a KC9VKV followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search, and that'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, I believe.
Roger that. It's KC9V. I can't read my own writing. VKV.
Yes, sir. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. I'll tell you what, one more time, why don't you dump the amp, and I can hear you a little bit better now. Dump the amp and let me hear what you sound like barefoot on the radio. Go ahead, Dave. Tell me about your antenna system again.
Yeah, I just bought it. I bought the Ultramax, Ultramax 100, because my station only requires 49 feet wide. With that on it. They claim I get 80%, but I'm monitoring my SWR is way too high. They're saying you might have to go all the way. They could be up to 10 to 1, and that's probably more than any of my tuners from him, over.
Yes, sir, Dave. Well, your radio's clean. Your radio really sounded good. So it's in your power amp. The problem is in your power amp. And like I say, there's... if you tune it for max out and then you back off one way and dip it, and see what that does, and then if you go the other way and back off and then tune it, one might be cleaner than the other, but the problem is definitely in your power amp, and it could be that you're getting RF in your AF. I can't be sure about that, but it is related to your power amplifier, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. The antenna that I bought is Ultramax. I've also bought the RF filter. It blocks all the RF coming in, and I put it in right before the antenna comes into the system, which is one of the places they require. And it's supposed to block out all over. And I hear myself stuttering. It's not stuttering, but it's like a buzzing. Over.
Yes, sir. Come back up with your power amp, Roger. Come back with your power amp.
Okay, it's the W3BAB.
Boy, that makes such a difference. You really are a beautiful sound when that power amp comes up. I mean, it's, as far as the RF level is concerned, that power amp really helps a great deal. Roger?
Roger that. Yeah. Well, is it enough to get by with now? For not now? I mean, I can work on it again some more, but you're being awfully patient with me. Over.
Yes, I think it works great now. It's like I say, it's just a little distortion there, and you might, like I say, sometimes you load out too far. If you go to max and that's distorted, and you want to back off your load just a little bit and see how that does. And of course, when you back off the load, then you have to retune the plates on your power amplifier. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I just sat there and tweaked with this now. Is this a little bit better? Over?
About the same. Try going the other direction about that same amount and retune. We're just talking smidges, Roger.
I'm sorry. Did you say something, sir? I apologize.
Yeah, so we're just talking real smidges here, and I'm just trying to find, sometimes if you overload the output, if you tune over, past the point and you're on the other side of load, excessive load, then they do tend to maybe go crazy sometimes, your power amplifier. So if you don't tune out quite as far, load out quite as far, and then retune your plates, that would be the thing that would tell what's going on.
Roger that. I understand. That makes sense. Well, I'm going to get off here and I'm going to say 73s, and I really do appreciate it. I'll try to get back on here sometime. I didn't know you guys were here, and I wish I'd have known. But I'll get back with you. And, sir, I don't know your name, and you didn't say, I don't think. But I really appreciate what you're doing for me here.
Roger, Dave. Okay, sir. And like I said, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
W4 STJ.
W4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yes, sir. Whiskey 4, Mike Tango Juliet, that's W4 STJ. I just heard you guys have that so, and want to let you again do a follow on the YouTube there.
Right, Mike Tango Juliet. What's the name there?
Name here is Mike. Mike India Kilo Echo.
Roger, Mike. And what's your location?
QTA is going to be Atlanta, Georgia, downtown Atlanta, Georgia.
Roger that. And what radio are you running, sir?
The 7th year QTA is a 7300, driving a Marathon. That's Alpha Lima 811 amplifier, pushing about 500 to 600 watts. The antenna is a homemade 40-30 meter dipole. Down Atlanta, Georgia.
Roger. Well, if you got a copy on me pretty well, if you need a setup, we can do it. The first thing is to be sure that, what radio are you running in?
I'm running the 7300, and I'm getting a solid 5.9 here at my community. I have a high voice floor around the S5, and you're a 5.9 plus at times here.
Roger. Okay, so make sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. You have 3 selections on that 7300, and we're looking for you to be in that wide one, 100 to 2900. That gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation.
QSL, how's this sounding? I forgot that I was narrow
transmit whenever I was trying to get to the X station.
Oh yes, sir. That that makes all the difference. Your syllabic range comes up, and I can understand very easily what you're saying. Before, the whole top end was missing, Roger.
QSL. Thank you for helping my audio. I didn't know it was cutting off my transmission that much, or I knew it was making my bandwidth a little bit smaller, but I didn't know it made a big difference in audio.
Oh yes, and that's the thing. That's when we want you to be on that wide mode, and that gives you 100 to 2900, and then just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger.
Roger. Well, so the audio is a lot better on my end now?
Oh, much better. But let's go on through with a couple of things and let's see if we can get it even better. So you're in that wide TBW, 100 to 2900. Then we want that compressor on at a 3. Compression on at a 3. Roger.
Receive compressions at a 3, and I have my gain at 70%.
Okay, so now let's go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Receive. 1 second. Audio. Testing audio, Whiskey 4, Mike Tango, Juliet, audio.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Now, tell me the best thing you like about your radio.
The best thing I really enjoy about the 7300 is it's almost user-friendly, very intuitive, user-friendly. Unlike nothing against the AC, but I don't have to go deep into the menu. I can push a few buttons here, I can hold the string down, do a start of the menu, but it's very intuitive, and especially for new hams out there, it's easy learning curve. I've been using this radio since 2022, that's when I got my ticket, and I love it since.
Roger. Now, is that the supplied hand mic, or is that a desk mic, or what?
It's the stock mic. Currently, my radio shack here, I only have so much space. I live in a condo with an HOA, so the antenna is not the best setup. I have it hidden kind of like in the bushes with 26 gauge wire for the dipole and a small desk and another desk to place my tuner and amplifier, and of course the SWR meter and the power supply. So right in front of me I just have my computer, my 7300, and to the left of me I have my amplifier, tuner, and power supply, and everything else I need to have the station operation. Over.
Roger. Okay, the best way to work that microphone is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Actually touch the corner of your lips and be talking across it, and that'll minimize any mouth noises or anything like that. Roger?
Roger. How is this audio sounding right now? I'm talking as you described, over.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better. You were picking up a little mouth noise there from time to time, Roger.
QSL. Yeah, I try not to talk directly into the microphone like I do at work, but I know these microphones seem to be kind of finicky, picking up different types of noises. But yeah, so the audio has improved since we've started this conversation.
Roger, great mic. It's condenser mic in my estimation is a lot more active in the upper audio spectrum, the S range, the treble range. They're a lot more efficient at picking up those tones than a dynamic. But you actually need to touch the corner of your lips when you're talking across it. Roger.
Roger. That's what I'm doing right now. The microphone's kind of touching the side of my cheek here without my mic being eaten up by my mouth hole. So it's sounding good now?
Yes, sir. That's beautiful. Just run it just like that. I wouldn't change a thing. Roger. I was thinking about maybe doing a little EQ, but I tell you what, why don't you tell me about your antenna system again?
Yes, sir. So the antenna system, I have about 50-foot coax going into a homemade fan dipole, which is cut for 40 meters and 30 meters. And I also have a DPEC, I think it's called, that allows me to switch coax cables. And the other antenna I have is a 20-meter homemade dipole, which I can switch back and forth for 30, 40, then I can switch to 20 meters. But like I said, my station here is not the best setup. I think at the apex, my 40-30 fan dipole is about 7 feet at the apex, and the 20-meter dipole is about 7 feet at the apex in a inverted V kind of style. I have to do my best not to make the antenna system too noticeable, but I haven't had any complaints through the HOA or anything. And luckily I don't have any RF issues either, because I have these antennas cut to almost about like a 1 to 1.2 SWR on both antennas. So they're pretty efficient, and luckily I don't have any RF coming back into the track.
Roger, your EQ is just fine. I wouldn't change that at all. And as far as the diameter of your antenna wire, you know, there's an old expression that the smaller the diameter of the element, the higher the Q, the higher the gain. So with those smaller wires for your antenna, your gain is actually higher than if you had a big wire up there. So you should be able to hear and talk just fine, even though it's a thinner wire, you know, unless, of course, you blow it up and then you just tie them together again, Roger.
QSL. Yeah, my family's house down in Noonan, I have a WinLink station, and I run the same kind of setup, and I had a tree branch fall on it and break the antenna in half, but that wire is so cheap, I just pull out, rolled it out, cut it, checked the SWR, and I was back on the air. So these little cheap antennas that I've made have worked a lot better than some of the commercial antennas, more so the verticals. They seem a little bit more efficient. Just a big dipole fan. But maybe one day when I get my own place out in the country, I can get a tower up and maybe try to play with a beam or something. Over.
Roger. Well, you know, you could go from the edge of your house, the eave of your house, out to a tree or something, and you would go from like maybe 15 feet to 30 or 45 feet, something like that. And if you were using a real thin wire, you'd never be able to see that, Roger.
Perspective of my station, I think it's a 4-story condo, and down here in Old Fourth Ward area, and the highest bushes I have is about 7 feet. There's no other trees around where I could actually throw some rope and wire and pull it up and hoist it higher. And this is just the best I can do. And I forgot to mention, I do have like a metal gate that's kind of near the antenna, probably about 2 to 3 feet. And luckily that hasn't caused any major SWR issues, but I do have the antenna here just to be on the safe side, protecting it from fire and radio. And one funny thing which does make sense, whenever it does rain, the water on the bushes that are touching a little bit of the wire causes the SWR to rise a little bit, but then once it dries off, I just do the best way. Sometimes, optimal isn't always necessary. Just kind of, optimal isn't always. Talk a little single sideband and do some digital modes, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, you sound mighty good, sir. I would just run it like that, and you can hear it. Like I say, if you go to YouTube, do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
QSL. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, but I didn't get your name. What's your name again?
Roger, this is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and the call is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and we're located around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville.
QSL. Wow, I'm really impressed that I'm making the trip all the way out there. I saw at QRZ that the band conditions were not the best all around, but it seems like we got some good propagation over here, especially in Atlanta with the nice high noise floor, where it's always an S5 for every band.
Roger that. Usually I have my Georgia SDR, but today, for whatever reason, it's out, and so I don't even have that possibility. Roger.
Roger. Well, all right, Jim. Well, I appreciate it. I'm subscribed to you on YouTube, so I'll be looking out for that video. And I'm also going to go ahead and look you up on QRZ, and I'll go ahead and add you on there as well. And I'll put you down as 59 plus here. 2137 Zulu, Don. So, Jim, thank you so much for the Q&A. My audio a little bit better. I really appreciate it, sir.
Roger, Mike. Yeah, Roger. You have a good afternoon, sir. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, and now I've got my PA-SDR back. Life is heck when I don't have my PA-SDR. That is a really go-to SDR, and when it's down for whatever reason, it really is a problem. Anyway, this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yes, Whiskey Bravo 9, Juliet Zulu.
Well, you had one of Amateur's finer QRMer interrupt your last half of that call sign. I got J something Z. So what is the magic letter between J and Z?
J something Z. So what is the magic letter between J and Z?
N is in November. Juliet November Zulu.
Correct. And what's the name there?
Correct. And what's the name there?
The name is Eric, Echo Radio India Charlie, and the QTH is about 60 miles northwest of Chicago.
Roger. And that was Earl. Is that a Roger?
Roger. And that was Earl. Is that a Roger?
Eric, Echo Radio India Charlie. Eric is the name. And how's the signal down there?
Roger, Eric, right now I'm on my PA-SDR. What I'd like for you to do, and what radio are you running today, Eric?
SDR. What I'd like for you to do, and what radio are you running today, Eric?
Okay, I'm not sure I want to adjust it, but I just wanted your comments on how it sounds. It's a Yaesu FTDX 101 Delta, and I'm going through a Hellcraft KPA 1500 amp, but I'm only running it at about 300 watts, or maybe a little, no, it's about 300 something.
Roger, Eric. So why don't you tell me in 10 seconds or 15 about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
And let me look around and see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
Okay, very good.
Well, Eric, gosh, somebody decided to start transmitting about 1 KC off our frequency for whatever reason. So it did pose a little problem there. I really don't have that good a copy on you. If you happen to have something in the closet, it'd be good to kick it on if you had it.
Be good to kick it on if you had it.
Okay, is this any better, Jim? I power up a bit. WB9JMZ.
Roger. Now, how much of a little bit did you kick it?
Roger. Now, how much of a little bit did you kick it?
I'm sorry, say again?
How much power did you come up with just there?
How much power did you come up with just there?
Let's see, it's about 550.
Roger. Well, it really sounded great in PA. It really came up in PA, my SDR in PA. Roger.
Really came up in PA, my SDR in PA. Roger.
Oh, okay, very good. How does the... I have this sort of dialed in, and there are a whole bunch of settings on this radio, and I hope I have it sounding somewhat decent.
Roger. Now, we could go quite a bit with different things. One thing is to be sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, wide 100 to 2900. Roger.
With wide 100 to 2900. Roger.
Roger. It's right now it's on 200 to 2800.
Yeah, so you really want to be on that 2900, 100 to 2900. It affects your top end, and the top end is so important for intelligibility, for somebody to be able to hear what you're saying. If you think about it, let's follow that trail on down. If you went to 300, 2500, you'd be whacking off almost all of your top in there. And so we're looking for you to be in that wide mode, 100 to 2900, and then that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Okay, I just set it to 100 to 2900 now. I don't know if you hear a difference or not, but that's where it is.
Yes, sir. Your setup range is increased, and that's a good thing. And so the other thing is, we suggest once you get that, then we move to your compression, and we suggest a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how that compressor processor is marked. We're looking for just a third of it, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Third of it. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Roger, and I have to find, I just got this amplifier back, and now I don't remember how to use the radio here.
Roger, well, it's not a big thing. See, a 3 in compression is not really a big thing. As a matter of fact, a 3 and a 6 are the same as far as actually working on the word. The only difference is the 6 gets you suck up between words, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Roger?
Up between words, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Roger?
Roger. Hang on, I may have to come back to you next week. I can't find where the compression is here.
Okay, so let's just forget that for the moment, and go ahead with your setting your ALC, and that is, find out where your ALC meter is, and as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. By saying the word audio, don't stress it. Just say it as you would say any other word in a conversation, and adjust it by mic gain until it's running 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Until it's running 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Oh, it's it's right about there. It's just about 2/3, right as it is now.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Now, what I want you to do is keep your eyes on that ALC meter and try to keep it in that sweet spot at 2/3. That's the whole ball of the name of the game there, is keeping your voice in that 2/3 sweet spot. Roger?
In that 2/3 sweet spot. Roger?
Okay, very good. Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, it's right about there as I speak right now. It's in that 2/3 range.
Yes, sir. Then, so you're now being all that you can be. We've got you tuned up there for all that you can be, and you sound clean. I wish I had more copy on you, but it is what it is. Propagation is what it is at the moment. Roger?
It is what it is. Propagation is what it is at the moment. Roger?
Roger. I guess that's good. This does have a whole bunch of parametric EQing on it, but I'm not sure I want to change it at the moment. So, Jim, you did notice the difference between that 200 to 2800 when I switch it to the 100 to 2900. It's better sounding, did you say?
Yes, sir, because you're rolling off the top end of your. I mean, in an ideal world, it would be maybe 100 to 3,000, and that would be the max out for your frequency response for your transmitter. But we all live in a yellow submarine and have to live with each other. So that 100 to 2900 gives you the chance to be all that transmitter can be, and then just gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's backyard. Roger?
Before you're into somebody else's backyard. Roger?
Oh, okay, very good. I will leave it there and hope it's the best. And one doesn't, because I think, didn't Bob Heil say that below 200 hertz or something, you're wasting the audio in too much bass or something, but maybe that doesn't apply here.
Well, it's you've got a balanced sound from the top to the bottom. Now we could go around and do things, but it's balanced and it sounds good. So I just soon call it a day, other than get into that P series of EQs, and I don't know whether you have 8-band, 16-band, or what you got, but you sound really, really nice right now. So I would just say close enough.
Really nice right now. So I would just say close enough.
Okay, very good. By the way, I'm using a Yaesu desktop microphone here, and I also have a Heil headset, but I'm on the mic at the moment. Well, thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate it. That one little tweak, I think, probably makes a difference. And a lot of people have been trying all kinds of settings on this radio and all of that, so I guess that's how it goes. By the way, Jim, I'm just curious, how much power are you running, and what's your antenna? Because you're a good 5'9" here in Illinois.
Roger. This is SB220 at a KW into a dipole antenna. Roger.
220 at a KW into a dipole antenna. Roger.
Oh, okay. I've got an SB222 sitting here on the side, and I was using it quite a bit while my other amp was in the shop. So that's good. Jim, thank you so much, and appreciate your help with this and your comments, and thank you very much for doing this.
Roger, Eric. Okay, 73, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
N8TCK, November 8, Tango Charlie Kilo.
Station Charlie Kilo, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
No problem at all. N8
TCK, November 8, Tango Charlie Kilo.
Tango Charlie Kilo, Roger, Roger, what's the name there?
Tango Charlie Kilo, Roger, Roger, what's the name there?
Name is Dan Delta Alpha November on the FT1200 Yaesu with the gun.
Don, I've been around twice now on my SDRs, and I still do not have a good copy on you, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make contact or not. Let me try just a little bit more. Tell me the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Or tell me the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Okay. FT1200, go ahead.
Running a FT1200, is that a Roger?
Yes, that is correct. The name is Dan, Delta Alpha November.
Okay, and what's your location?
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, Dan, it could be that we might be able to get you up a little bit higher in your audio. First thing would be to make sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth called wide. That radio is fairly new, I assume.
Yeah, they stopped making the 1200 some time ago. I think I am in the wide mode. I turned up the microphone setting a little bit. Is that any better?
Yes, sir. It helps just a little bit there. And so if you're in that wide mode, let's go to the compressor. We want just a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled. We're just looking for a third of the compressor processor. So it'd be, depending on how it's labeled, a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm at, right now, I'm at, right there is 30 with the processor, 30 with the processor, go ahead, 30 with the processor.
Roger, Roger. Okay, now go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it, and we're just interested in the first part of that word, the ah. If you look at that word, that part of the word on a spectrum analyzer, it's just wall-to-wall harmonics. So it's a beautiful word to use as a setup tone. You become a human test generator. So as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your AOC meter is running 2/3.
Well, I'll tell you, my singing teacher and my doctor, when examining my throat, would certainly agree with you. There I am at 2/3. How's that? 2/3 right there with the ALC.
Oh, yes, yes. I have a very good copy on you now. And let's see. Tell me about your antenna system one more time.
Just the dipole. Just the wire dipole. 30 feet up. 30 feet up on the roof. Go ahead.
All right, I'm copying you on my Georgia antenna a little bit there. Your tone page, can you get to that?
Your tone page, can you get to that?
Yeah, you want me to...
Yeah, if we can get to your EQ page, your tone page.
Yeah, okay, so it's at 159 begins at parametric EQ frequency 200 is where it's at right now, which is what they call for at 200.
Okay, sir, do you have a P set of controls? since your well, we don't know if your compressor's on or not, do we?
Oh yeah, the compressor is on.
Okay, do you have a P set of controls for your processor on?
Actually, that's incorrect. The processor was not on. Hold on 1 second. Let me go back to menu.
Some radios have all that stuff and some don't, you know. To me, I would not like them associated like that. I would like to have the EQ by itself, not affected by the compressor, you know, so I can deal with each one separately as opposed to interrelated, Roger.
Yeah, the processor's on now. I apologize. My processor was not on. It's now on.
Okay, talk to me just a little bit. Let me look, see if I can get a little bit better copy on you, Roger.
Okay, very good.
Let me look, see if I can get a better copy on you, Roger.
The first setting for the EQ frequency is 200. That is the first one at 200. And again, the processor is on with ALC at 3/4 of the way up.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. I can't get to my local antenna. It doesn't, you don't come up on my local antenna, but I do copy you around the country on my SDRs, and when I can hear you, it sounds really good. Now, if you happen to have a few watts stored back in the closet, we sure could use those, though.
Boy, I'll tell you, I wish I did. I never did get an amplifier for this radio, but one day I'm looking at that Kenwood 890. I really want to buy that radio, so I don't want to buy an amplifier yet until I get the radio that I want. I've had this 1200 for about 8 years now, and I was at DX Engineering and looking at that 890, that Kenwood, and I'll tell you, I love the way that receives. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. I heard enough of that on my local antenna. That is 7300 on a dipole, and you were about 4 dB above my noise level. So I had a pretty good copy on you. So your EQ sounds really good. I wouldn't touch that. I would just leave that right where it is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great news. That's great news. So everything sounds well balanced now with the tone, and the processor is on. I think I told you it was on 30. From 1 to 100, it's on 30. Is that where you'd like it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, it seems like a 30 and a 3 and a 6 are the same thing, except that the 6 gives you suck up between the words, and that doesn't do anybody any good. So we decided that a 3 would be a nice compromise there. You'll never hear it on the air, but it does do quite a bit of fortification on the voice, Roger.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I couldn't agree more. Sometimes I hear that drag. I know what you're talking about. You don't want it to be overbearing. But just to question you once more. So with the EQ right now, everything sounds great. I'd listen to it on the headphones, but when you're listening to yourself on the headphones, it's hard to know if you're hearing yourself in your head or you're hearing yourself through your ears, you know?
Yes, sir. Well, the thing is, I think earphones are distracting when you're listening to yourself. You might listen to your receivers in your earphones, but actually to listen to yourself can be very distracting. And also, depending on how your earphones are, as far as leakage, you could have garbage getting back into your audio, Roger.
I'm not listening with headphones. I was just referring to when I was using the EQ to adjust the EQ, that I was trying to hear myself on the headphones as I was adjusting the EQ a few weeks ago. But no, I agree with you. I don't like to wear headphones at all for any purpose, because I don't feel like I'm getting an accurate sound. So I couldn't agree more with you.
Roger there, Dan, and Gosh, if you get a chance and you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call. Let us search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Oh, very good, very good. Can I ask you, sir, I didn't catch your location, and by the way, your signal report here is 5 and 7, 5 and 9, so very good, and great audio. Couldn't be better there, so very clean signal, and there's some heterodyne on the frequency, but I can hear you fine.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, this is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and we're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, this is a good regional contact. Very good. Oh, I'm pleased. Yeah, I'm right here up on the lake in Cleveland, and again, just 100 watts. Jim, thank you very much for your assistance, and sometimes, I get the complaints with people with the processor if I'm on 40 or 80 that, they're of the opinion, you need to turn that off. You need to turn the processor off. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that and so forth. So to get an accurate report and hear you say that it sounds good, that makes me feel better. Thank you.
Roger, Roger, sir. Let me say 73 to you, and you have a good afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance to join us next Friday, we'd love to have you, Roger.
All my best. NATCK, I'll be listening 73. Thank you.
Roger, Roger. And this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And with all that being said, we got to return this frequency back to regular amateur use. So this is KC9VKV, and we'll be headed towards the dugout there, and we'll join you next Friday. This is KC9VKV, clear.
VKV, uniform 4, November, October.
Station ending in October. Come back one more time with your call sign phonetically, please, slowly.
Yeah, I don't have your call right. I think I missed the way. Anyway, call here is Kilo Uniform 4, November, October, I just thought I'd give you a holler because I'm in Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Roger there. What's the name?
My name is Glenn. November, Glenn. Back to you.
Roger, Glenn, and you're in whereabouts?
Elizabethtown, E-Town, over.
Roger that. And what radio is that? Did you say it's a homemade radio?
Roger.
Wow. Have you given it a name?
What was that?
Have you given it a name?
Oh, no. I've had it for about 40 years. About 40 years. I built it about 40 years ago, and had a lot of changes to it and everything. No name. Haven't given it a name.
Roger, Glenn. Well, let me just a couple of things off the top there. I would work that microphone not directly. I would pull it to the corner of my lips and talk across it. That sounds like it's a hand mic, and the best way to run that hand mic is to the corner of your lips. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
Yeah, it's Radio Shack, noise, microphone, things like if I don't get real close to it, it doesn't pick me up.
Yeah, so you want to actually touch the corner of your lips. Touch the corner of your lips as you talk across it. Roger?
This evening. So, seems like I gotta get close to it, but I'm holding back a little bit. Is that any better?
I would try pulling it back a little bit further on the corner of your lips, and let me listen to you.
Okay. Back a little further. Not talking directly into the mic. Being a homemade radio, I really didn't know what I was doing when I made it. It's not a kit, anything like that. It's just a collection of books and magazine articles. I can turn the game down, but it's real tricky. I recently bought a scope, and that seems too bad, but it just seems like if I don't get real close to it, there's some syllables that it doesn't pick up good. I'm running about maybe 50 watts. 50 watts around pretty cool. It's about 10 feet tall. Actually, around 40. 30. About 50 watts. Not a big state. And maybe I have a tendency to get close to the mic and yell. Like that. So, let me see. Hold on. You got a K in here, but I didn't write that.
Hey, Glenn? Hey, Glenn, can you copy?
Glenn? Hey, Glenn, can you copy?
Hi, Glenn, can you copy me?
Hi, Glenn, can you copy me?
Yeah.
Your radio is actually cutting in and out. It's not your microphone. Well, it could be your microphone. I don't know, but it tends to cut out some words. That's what's happening. It's not really. I don't think it's really the microphone. I think it's maybe something else in the radio. Because you like I say, you're perfect, and then all of a sudden it cuts out. So I think it maybe is in your radio.
And all of a sudden it cuts out. So I think it maybe is in your radio.
Yeah, it could be. Like I say, I built this thing about 40 years ago. All the wires are getting brittle, and if you move things around, the wire will break. And I just built one module at a time. I come out of books and magazines. It's an all-band rig. Makes it a little bit complex. And so it's very possible it has problems. I'm working on another one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, gosh, is that what? Do you know what kind of hand mic you're running there?
Is that what? Do you know what kind of hand mic you're running there?
Got a cake, put them, but I do want to put another one together. Most likely to take it here. Getting old and tight. Now, is your phone KC9? KC, that's your phone?
Call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. KC9VKV, name is Jim. And like I say, the lower, when it cuts out, it's cutting out on the lower part amplitude of the signal. In other words, at about 50% modulation, it catches and it comes on up with the word, but it tends to cut off at about minus 50% of the word. Roger?
About minus 50% of the word. Roger?
Roger. Well, I've got a scope, and I noticed that, and I don't want to overdrive. So, maybe I can make a few more adjustments. I've got some adjustments I can make on here, but since it's closed and I got a good big, I don't have a working S-meter, but it's a great big signal. I just thought I'd give you a holler and see if you could help me a little bit. So I'll work on that cutting out. But I don't know if that's something to do with it being a noise canceling microphone, because it's actually made for CB radios. And yes, on a CB, you're supposed to get your mouth right on the microphone. But I've got a D104 I'm working on, and it picks up all the room noise, television, and everything else. So I guess the noise canceling microphone, if you're not directly talking into it, it'll just cut it off, but I'm not sure. I'm always learning. KU4NO.
Roger. Well, it could be that. It could be that. That's why I was suggesting that you actually maintain contact with the corner of your lips as you pull that mic in. You know, don't work directly into it, but pull it to the corner of your lips and actually touch the corner of your lips when you're talking. That way you keep a nice volume level into your radio.
A nice volume level into your radio.
Okay. Other than that, I know it's not a store-bought rig. I know it's not perfect, but other than that, do you find the audio offensive?
Well, now you need to stay back on that corner of your lips, because when you come around towards the front, I start hearing mouth noises, and that detracts from your audio. Roger?
And that detracts from your audio. Roger?
Roger. Well, now I'm talking right into the corner of the mic, holding it at a 90-degree angle to my mouth. Is that any better?
That sounded all right. You say that you've got a D104. Now, does that have an amplifier in the D104?
A D104. Now, does that have an amplifier in the D104?
Yeah, but I'm not using a D104 right now. I was just saying that this microphone does not pick up room noise like television, but the D104 picks up every noise in the room, and I'm still working on the D104 to get the response a little bit lower and not as high. But this is not a D104. This is a Radio Shack 21-1177. They came out about 30 years.
Okay, you kind of faded out that time. I knew you weren't on the D104. I was just saying, if that amplifier, if you do have the amplifier in the D104, when you try to use it, it should work out pretty good. But you should set your internal mic gain at around 50 or 5 or in the mid-range, so you don't overdrive your front end your preamp So you just want to put it on a 4 or 5, and then adjust the, if you have the preamp in that D104, bring that volume down until your ALC runs 2/3. We never really got to establishing that ALC level, but you go to your ALC meter as you say the word audio and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Roger. Well, I put an 8 in, but I put...
Boy, it is cutting out. It definitely is cutting out, and for more time now than it was in the beginning. So it's definitely actually cutting out the word. So it could be a bad contact in your microphone. You might try doing a little lubricant, cleaner lubricant in your microphone contacts. Roger?
A cleaner lubricant in your microphone contacts. Roger?
I never noticed that it did much difference. So, I don't know. I thought the batteries were low in this one, but they seem good. Okay, well, I won't hold you. I'll just do some more experiments here. And, but it does seem like with low volume, it doesn't want to put it on the download and working with it, I guess. But thanks for the contact. Hey, you confirmed what it looks like to me. So working with it next fine and plus straight. The fine and the plus straight. Okay, I'll let you go. I can something out for this. KC9VKV. P-N-O in Elizabethtown. Thank you.
Roger, Glenn. One other thought. It could be a bias situation, and you at some point overcome the bias problem, because it does seem like it's cutting out on the lower portions of your audio. On the quieter portions of your audio seems to be what's cutting out. So it could be that your audio amplitude is overcoming a bias problem somewhere in your radio. But I'm not real sure about that. But it is cutting off on the lower portions, lower levels of your audio. So 73, sir. And if you get a chance and you're going to, you work on it, or you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to this and followed by the word logbook. So that's KC9VKV followed by the word logbook will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, and we wish you luck on tracking down that problem, Roger.
3 there, and we wish you luck on tracking down that problem, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, that last suggestion, that's very interesting, because when I first built this thing, I had bias problems on my power amplifier, my power. I had bias problems on those. I did not know that they would cause such a big problem. They did. But I believe I have my
by it instead, but yes, very definitely I can have a problem here on the microphone. That was a good suggestion I'll check into. Okay, thanks for the contact. Send the information. KC9VKV from K410.
Roger, Roger, Glenn 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and we've got to return this frequency now to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear.